Hi everybody, this is the tutorial for Scared of Loving You. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. We're in standard tuning for this song, but we'll need a capo on the 6th fret if we want to play this the easiest possible way. So, if you're in need of a capo, there is a link to one in the description below. And digging in with the chords, there is a very, very small introduction, which is just one chord, and that is C major. Now, C major, in reference to the capo, is 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on a B, and an open E. We don't play the low E string. And what's going to happen is we have 2 bars worth of this. It's really quick counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at that point, that's when the vocal part comes in. So in terms of strumming, which you'll do through most of the song, we're going to play the lowest note of the chord, which is always kind of the highest string of the chord. We play that first, and then we start strumming every other string of the chord afterwards. And for the most part, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, which is pluck, down, up, down, up. And for that introduction on the C chord, you do it twice for the 2 bars. So directly after that, we have the first verse, and the first verse has a ton of chords in it that we'll work our way through. And it's worth mentioning, if you want the chord chart for this, which has all the chords with the full structure, all wrote out, as well as another sheet with the chords and the lyrics matched up. So let's say you want to play along to the track, or if you want to sing along and you need to know which chord goes with which word, then head on over to Patreon. There is a link in the description, because I've got you covered. Everything's wrote out professionally for the price of a coffee. But yes, anyway, digging in with that first verse, we actually start off with the C chord from the introduction. But we'll only play it once, because then we go to an E minor chord, which is an open E string, 2, 2 on the A and D strings, and then open strings for the remaining. However, what happens is we won't actually play this E string. We're going to pluck the fret 2 on the A string, and we'll copy the same strumming pattern from the first chord. So what we have up to now is C, and what is technically called an E minor slash B, but basically just think E minor and play that note instead of that note. Chord number 3 is an A minor, which is an open A string, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. We won't play the low E string for this chord. And again, following the same strumming pattern. The next chord is a G major chord, another new chord. So yeah, lots of chords going on in this song. We have 3 on the E string, 2 on the A, 0, 0, 0 on the D, G and B, and then a 3 on the high E. Now that is halfway through the verse. Let me just recap what we've got up to now. So it's C, E minor, A minor, and G. We then go to another new chord of F major, which is 3 on the D, 2 on the G, 1, 1 on the B and E. If you're quite new to the guitar, you may find F major to be quite a tricky chord, because these fingers have to be curved and that has to be flat. So your thumb wants to be directly behind this finger on the back of the guitar, so your hand's doing that, basically. That'll really help. We then have a normal E minor with the E string. Earlier we didn't, we played with fret 2 on the A string. For this E minor, we will play the low one. We then have one more new chord for the verse of D minor. Now I will show you the full thing in a one run through without me yapping on over the top of it, but to show you how to play D minor, we have an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and 1 on the high E. We don't play the E or A strings for D minor. And the final chord we need for the verse, a G major chord. So I'm going to play through the full verse for you, nice and steady, without talking over the top of it. So what we've just played there is the first verse. The great news is you play exactly the same thing directly afterwards for the second verse. Now we get some good news. The chorus, which is the next part of the song, there's slightly more instrumentation, but it's basically just the same chords, and you're just going to loop that round 2 more times. So yeah, we're getting tons and tons of repetition in this. However, you'll find that usually at the end of each time round of the verse before the chorus, and the last chorus, the very last chord, G major, we will sustain, as in let it ring out. Let me demonstrate through one time around the chords where you hear just one strum of G, because that's how you can make this song sound just like the track, but make it also sound quite interesting, just by not repeating the same thing over and over. You get these small differences. Two, three, four. So what I did there, I played the G chord, I didn't put the pattern to it, I just played it once, let it sustain, let it ring out, and then you wait the 4 beats before going back to what will inevitably be another time round of the same chords. So looking over to the notes, we have, after that first chorus, a third verse, same as all the other parts, a fourth verse, again same as the other parts, and then finally there is one more chorus where we play it through 2 more times. So basically you get this one chord progression that just goes over and over and over until the cows come home, which is really, really useful. So that's everything you need to get through this song. So if you did find it useful, please do like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And please consider getting that extra material over on Patreon, because it saves you from trying to memorize it and potentially make a mistake. It's all for the price of a coffee. In fact, you also get well over 470 other songs of all the latest releases over the past few years. I'd also like to say thanks to the people on the screen who are my active patrons. The moment this video goes live, they will get access to that content straight away. So thanks to them for their support, thanks to you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.